This case with Shanquella, oh, I am just so pissed. I'm so pissed. It's just horrible. How are they not going to charge them? So basically, they're getting away with murder. That's basically what they're telling us. They're going to be getting away with murder, and I'm disgusted with our country for real. Like, we just don't matter to them. It's just at the end of the day, we just don't matter to them. I um I do think this goes a lot deeper. I think there's a lot more to it, and of course there's things that we don't know, but it comes back to this girl was murdered, and it's like they just don't care. They just don't care. So for those of you who are new, I'm new to all this. I'm an author. I write a lot of spiritual fiction, fantasy, um how would I say it? Visionary fiction, which is kind of like that's why I think spiritual fiction is probably the best best term for it. But I love writing books. I've been writing books since 2000, and actually since middle school. But I hadn't start really getting into publishing and writing books until 2009. But I like to talk about a lot of different things. The Shanquilla case has been something that has just held my attention, and because it's like I can't believe how blatant this is, and yet they're walking away with it. So I guess you can go call your friend out to wherever and do whatever to them, and you're not going to pay any consequences. That's basically the message that they're sending. So I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. And at what it just makes me say, like, at what point are we going to say enough is enough? Like, at what point are we going to finally say enough is enough? You know, they we know how strong our dollar is, right? Why don't we focus on putting our dollar, investing it into each other? And because obviously we don't matter to them, we don't have any value with them. So let's start valuing ourselves. Let's start uplifting ourselves, uplifting each other, because this is crazy. Like, this girl was doing good things. She was a good person. And I don't care if maybe she had some, you don't know who a person is behind doors. Only her family knows her. We don't know her. But from what I can see from her fruits, she was a good person. She had good intentions. So I don't understand, like, why not even manslaughter? Like, just nothing? They're just not going to, they're not going to pursue him, really? And I haven't looked into it as if they're going to send them to Mexico, but if they're not even going to, they're most likely nothing's going to come out of this, unfortunately. That's the heartbreaking truth. And I do believe that there's a lot of things that are not being said. I like to look into, like, what's not being said. What did they not disclose, or just read between the lines, like, or again, I bring it with how many people were really involved, because we talk about the Cabo Six, but yet there was either an extra person or somebody's lying about their flight arrangements and manipulated it somehow, because there was a person there with Shanquilla on day one, way before supposedly anybody was supposed to be there. So that's suspect as heck. Who was that person? Was it one of the men, or is it an eighth person? We'll never know. One thing I can be certain of, they're really not getting away with it. They may have gotten away with it legally, but they're not getting away with it just in life, because their quality of life, I'm sorry, I would not. You're getting fired from your job, probably having a hard time finding a job. You thought you was in a little bit of a struggle before this. Mm-mm. And honestly, like, it's starting to have little, when you really sit back and look at the case, and this is something I kind of saw early on, but I never said anything about it publicly because I was just like, you don't want to think that way. But I think this way because of the content that I write. I do spiritual fiction. A lot of my books have to deal with spiritual warfare, people fighting demons and monsters, things that are done behind the door, behind the scenes, things that people don't see with their natural eye all the time. They just see, you know, they see it a different way. So I write books like that, in that kind of, I don't want to say gray area, but that area where people don't really talk about, people don't really understand, and that's where I have so much fun writing that. But anyway, writing it, just thinking from that perspective, for me, this sounds like it would be something from out of my novels, where it looks very ritual. And the reason why I say ritual is because Nazir Wiggins said, he said a couple things that were very interesting. Um, Two of the things that he said that were very interesting is, he said that this is deeper than you think, which is one. The second thing is, he said that, oh Lord, I just had I just had it in my head and my brain just went blank. Okay, well, let's go back to the first one. He said it's deeper than you think. And why would you say that? If there's more to this, it's a lot more to this. It looks very ritual. Oh, the other thing that he said was that they all beat up on Shanquella, all of them, and if all of them beat up on her, it's like they were. I don't want to say forced, but it's, to me, that sounds like, hey, if I'm gonna put my hand in this cookie jar, you got to put your hand in there too. We're all going to do this. We're all going down. We're all a part of this. This is a pact that we're all making. Another thing that was said, and I'm not sure who said this, but there's that video in the, and forgive me, I'm not pulling up any videos, and other stuff like that. I'm just cutting in here real quick, because I kind of went on a rage and didn't complete what I was saying. So I'm just gonna come back in here and just want to say, what I wanted to say originally was, there's a video that is going around, and I'm not sure who it was that was talking in the video. I believe it's Nazir, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But he's videotaping, and it's the one that's where, I keep saying videotaping, but he's recording Shanquella sleeping in a hammock, and he says, whoever it is says, "Oh, we got our first victim." So I don't think that's a coincidence. And now I'm just like, you're first. So it just adds to it. Anyway, I just want to put that in because I went on and I lost it. I went off and I talked about other stuff, and this is so random for me. I'm just upset about the outcome of this case. I was really, really hoping and praying it wouldn't go this way. But the signs were there. They were taking too long to really come forward and say something. And then I couldn't even read the autopsy report. I'm so pissed. I just Anyway, it sounds very ritualistic, like a ritual. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe not meant to be. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think it was meant to. I think they planned it all out. Maybe all of them didn't know how far it was going to go, but somebody did. Quite a few people did. And that nasty Khalil, that was supposed to be your best friend. You nasty as hell. Like, How can you do that to somebody? You have no soul, which takes me back to it being ritualistic. I wouldn't in one of my books, if this was something that I wrote in one of my books, it would have been a group of people who came together who decided they're tired of being broke and struggling and not having the success that they want. They decide that they're going to sell their soul to Satan, and they're going to do it together. And they create this situation so that they can do this contract with Satan to show their loyalty. And because I mean, one thing I will say, they came back and you didn't hear Pete. Nazir was talking, but I don't think Nazir to me is guilty. He's he's guilty. He's guilty. I don't know what level of of play he had into this, but he ain't no angel. He ain't no saint. Okay, and the rest of them, now the rest of them, they know what they did and they just stay quiet. You had Khalil come into the mother's house, and all his whole purpose was just to keep a check to see when they found out the truth, because they knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. They knew it was going to happen. And then there was this just like the videotape is released. I'm not sure if it was out of guilt, and it could have been, or also out of, they knew that they were going to get away with this. They knew it. They knew it. They knew they were going to get away with this because of what they sacrificed. So, and their purpose behind it. So I just said it. It's just, it sounds, and I think that's what, for me, why it's, this whole case has bothered me from the beginning. And it's not the first, it's not going to be the last. And I mean, you got to think there's a lot of cases of people who are not here anymore, and the case goes unsolved for 30, 40 years. And it's sad. Like what hurts me is the family. They never got to see justice happen, and it's just, it's not, I can't imagine how her mom, her sister, and her dad are feeling right now. That's enough to make somebody flip a switch, you know? So I just wanted to come on here and just rant a little bit, because I don't know. You guys, let me know what you think. Do you think this was a rich, or I know you two don't like you using the K word. Do you think that there's more to this on a whole nother level that we just don't understand? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm just curious. And I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.